And as we begin tonight, a Valley family is demanding answers after their 19-year-old loved one died in a motorcycle crash. DPS says Annabelle Force was killed after she fell 80 feet over a median wall on a freeway ramp. But her motorcycle was stolen before first responders arrived at the scene. Thanks for joining us tonight for 12 News at 10. I'm Mark Curtis.
And I'm Troy Hayden. Caribe is off tonight. Without the motorcycle, investigators don't have much to determine what caused that crash. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono talked to the young woman's family. Such a strange case, Bianca.
It is. It's hard to wrap your mind around the fact that you're dealing with the loss of a 19-year-old. But on top of that, this family doesn't have answers, and now they're turning to the public for help.
At the time, she wanted to be a princess.
Annabelle Force's grandma sits alongside her wife and close friend.
This was the night that we met. She was wearing a red dress. I was wearing a black and red suit.
Together, they relive memories. Annabelle turned 19 earlier this year, and at her young age, she had big dreams.
She was going to be an EMT. She was going to work her way through medical school. She wanted to be a surgeon.
She was also excited to have her own motorcycle.
She's having the time of her life.
Seen here dancing and celebrating when she got it. On June 8th, she went for a ride to say goodbye to her friend.
She would always rev it 3 times for I love you.
But Annabelle's family says as she was heading back to the valley, riding eastbound on the I-10, taking the ramp to the 17 South, something happened, causing Annabelle to strike the median wall and fall over 80 feet down. Her loved ones noticed her location wasn't moving.
I called. I was trying to figure out if there had been any accidents on the road, and I was told that there wasn't.
That's because shortly after the crash, officials say someone stole Annabelle's motorcycle, which remained on the ramp after she fell.
Her bike was gone by the time the cops got there. They said that they sent out a patrol officer around 6:30, and he didn't see anything. And then they got a helicopter out there, and it took them a while to find her, but they eventually did.
Finally, they found her body after 7 o'clock.
And did the person who stole it have something to do with it? That's my concerns, too.
They also believe the damaged bike could help answer exactly what happened in the crash. It's why they're asking the public for help in finding it. A black 2022 Yamaha YZF R7.
Please return it.
As they cling tight to their memories of the 19-year-old with a big heart who wanted to devote her life to helping others, they hope to get the answers they need to help them heal in their grief.
That's all we need, is just to have that closure of having her bike back and knowing what happened.
Just so many questions in this case, and DPS says its investigation is ongoing. In the meantime, a GoFundMe page has been set up to help Annabelle's loved ones with her funeral costs. You can find the link to donate on our website, 12news.com. We're live in studio tonight. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
Well, hopefully somebody comes forward with some information. Bianca, thank you. A camper who went missing in the northern Arizona wilderness for 3 days has been found alive and safe. Janelle Banda's family tells 12 News she was found at the bottom of a steep cliff. She was hurt, she was dehydrated, but she was alive. You can see some of the topography they were dealing with there. They say she's now recovering at Verde Valley Medical Center in Cottonwood. Janelle went missing Friday in a remote area near Sedona that's known as the Edge of the World. Authorities searched for 3 days until they ultimately found her about noon today. 12 News spoke to Janelle's family just minutes after they were told that she was found.
She's alive though, and I don't know, we thought she wasn't. I gotta admit. Sorry. No, it's like a miracle. I could imagine my life without her. And I'm so happy that I get to still have more time with her.
We don't know much about her condition right now or exactly how she was found, how she was rescued. We hope to get that information. The Coconino County Sheriff's Office is expected to release more of that information about how all this happened sometime tomorrow.
New at 10, you may have noticed some strange lights across the sky tonight. SpaceX launched 26 Starlink satellites into orbit from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California tonight, and it was visible here in the valley. We want to say thanks to all of our viewers who took the time to send us in photos and videos of what it looked like overhead. A nice clear night out there, Lindsay, and we're dealing with a weather impact alert.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the hotter weeks of the year. We're talking our first 115 heading our way later this week. We have an extreme heat warning that's been extended for the valley right on through Friday. So every day this week, temperatures will hit 110 or hotter. And we typically see our hottest hours of the day between 3 and 5 p.m. That's usually when we see our high for the day. So just take it easy. If you do have to be outside, get out early in the day, because by 9 a.m., we're already well into the 90s. As far as records are concerned, most records are safe this week. That's because the record highs are generally between 117 and 119 for the next 4 days. And we're going to range anywhere from 110 to 115. Thursday is our peak in the valley, our first 115 of the year. As far as the high country is concerned, our first 90-degree temperature in Flagstaff on Wednesday. Wednesday will be the hottest day for the high country, triple digits in Sedona and close to 100 in Payson. Troy?
All right, Lindsay, we'll see you in a few minutes. Friends, family, and fellow law enforcement officers gathering today to mourn the loss of Apache Junction police officer Gabriel Facio. Facio was shot in the line of duty on June 2nd and died from his injuries 6 days later. During his funeral today, his fellow officers, the chief of police, his daughter, his father, they all spoke about the man who they say would drop everything for the people he loved.
You were the first man that showed me what love is, and the first person who showed up. I don't know what life will look like from now on, but I know it's not going to be pretty. But what I do know is I want you to keep showing up in every achievement and milestone in our lives. Even though you won't be here physically, know that I will always be your baby girl.
Officer Facio, 46 years old. He spent 3 years with the Apache Junction Police Department.
New at 10, we're hearing from the 3 finalists in the running to become Phoenix's next police chief. The finalists are Malik Aziz, the police chief from Prince George's County in Maryland; Matthew Giordano, the executive director of the Arizona Peace Officer Standards and Training Board. He was previously with Phoenix PD and also MCSO. And Murtha Ramos, who was most recently the police chief down in DeKalb County in Georgia. Tonight, the city held a candidate forum so the public could ask questions. Here's what they had to say when they asked about what they'd want their legacy with the department to look like.
I'm focused on community outreach and engagement. That is my strength. I believe in going out to the people, listening to the people, and then coming back and seeing how the department can do better. But we really can't do that without working with our officers, making sure the officers have what they need, and making sure that they're taken care of first.
When people ask during that time what was the best time that they had for community and police, that they would say that the chief, Aziz, brought forth a right and purposeful leadership model that moved us into the future. Even when we thought we were at our heights, we moved even further.
It's incredibly important to me what this place looks like moving forward. Because I talk to hundreds of people who have worked here, currently work here, want to work here, and I want to make sure that we're getting the best and the brightest to come to the Phoenix Police Department and then getting them to stay for long, rewarding careers.
The city is expected to make a final decision on the chief position sometime next month.
Arizona lawmakers are running out of time to pass a new state budget. They're facing a deadline of June 30th to get everything done. 12 News journalist Bram Resnick has a closer look at the debate.
Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs and the Republican leaders of the state Senate agree on at least one thing.
This year, the Republicans in the House did not want to align with us.
Republican Senate Budget Chair John Kavanaugh said the budget passed late last week by the Republican House was a non-starter, with onerous taxation and unconstitutional policy measures. So what's being called a bipartisan budget plan is being rolled out. Here's some of what both sides agree on in a budget year where there isn't much new money to spend. $5 million in raises for Arizona state troopers, $14 million for an overpass at Riggs Road and State Route 347 in the Southeast Valley, and $15 million to the city of Prescott for its rodeo. For a third straight year, Hobbs lacks the clout in the legislature to put spending limits on the fast-growing and unaccountable school voucher program, a sore spot with her fellow Democrats. The budget isn't the only piece of unfinished business. Legislation creating a $1 billion tax revenue stream to renovate Chase Field is expected to come back to life. Hobbs could play a central role by shoveling more state tax dollars into the plan to win the city of Phoenix's support. Bram Resnick, 12 News.
Lawmakers are hoping to pass the state budget by Saturday, leaving all of next week for Governor Hobbs to approve it and sign it. Turning to world news, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says he's headed to the White House Situation Room to meet with President Trump and his national security team amid tensions in the Middle East. And it comes after the president abruptly cut his trip to the G7 summit short to get back to Washington. He made waves on social media earlier tonight, urging the people of Tehran and Iran to evacuate immediately after Iran refused to sign an agreement with the U.S. limiting its nuclear program. The White House and Secretary of State Marco Rubio reshared the president's message on social media. Tehran is home to about 9 million people. NBC News reports that the United States has repositioned warships and military aircraft in that region to respond if the conflict further escalates.
Tonight, the man accused of shooting 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses is being held on a $5 million bond. After a 2-day manhunt, Vance Belter was captured overnight. Police say that Belter impersonated a police officer and went to the lawmakers' homes with the intent to kill. When police searched his car and home, they found a hit list of potential targets, plans, details, and schedules. He's now facing multiple state and federal charges.